Facts are everywhere. We read them, hear them, and seek them out. But what exactly makes something a fact? How often will they agree? Have they really seen the same thing? The world seems obsessed with fact-checking. We're told that separating fact from fiction is essential. But is it that simple? Where does pure description end and interpretation begin? A photograph might capture a moment, but even that image can be interpreted differently depending on who looks at it. Two people looking at the same event can arrive at entirely different conclusions. What are the facts? What's the interpretation? Do they agree on what they've observed? We often confuse fact with truth, as if listing enough facts will lead us to understanding, but understanding isn't just about facts, it's about connection and context. Even our language reflects this complexity. Consider the English verb to understand and its German cousin, verstehen. Understand comes from Old English understanden, which means to stand in the midst of or stand among. The prefix under doesn't mean below, but rather conveys a sense of among or between, while the Old English standen means to stand. The German verb verstehen comes from the prefix ver, which can imply completeness or thoroughness, and stehen, to stand. It means to stand before or stand in relation to. Clearly, both the English and German verbs imply something deeper than simply knowing a fact. Now, let's look at two Romance languages where we see something similar but nuanced, pointing to another feature of understanding. The verb comprendre in French comes from Latin and means to take together, to assemble meaning from parts. In Italian, capire suggests capturing or grasping. Thus, our languages themselves appear to be telling us always to look beyond mere facts. English and German put the accent on perspective or viewpoint. French and Italian highlight mental processing or integrating into a web of thought. In other words, understanding implies multiple acts of perception, as Italian tells us, but also integration into complex patterns of thought, as French seems to insist. And all this supposes having viewpoints within a wider context, which English and German prefer to emphasize. In public discourse, AI is seen as a tool to deliver facts. Politicians and media often define AI's role as one of ensuring factual accuracy. They cry foul when AI hallucinates or deviates from expressing bare facts. Does sticking to facts bring us closer to truth, or are we missing something deeper? Critical thinking about AI should go beyond facts. It should explore meaning, context, and how humans and machines working together create understanding. So let's ask ourselves two serious questions. The first is this: does the current obsession with fact-checking reflect something other than a concern for truth? Or is it an attempt by certain people in a position of authority to constrain the expression of views that may challenge their own approved interpretations of facts? The second question defines the serious challenge that awaits us. If this attempt to constrain not just expression but also thinking is real, how can humans and AI work together to define and manage the blurry border between facts and interpretation? If we really believe in democracy, we need to ask these questions and earnestly seek the answers. Understanding begins where facts end. It's a process of integration and assembly. AI, however good it may become with distilling facts, won't do that work for us. It can assist, but it won't even try to understand. That's what we, as responsible citizens, can and indeed must do. It's time to think beyond the obvious.
Join the conversation at Fair Observer and subscribe to our YouTube channel.